Hello all, my name is Patrick Rooney and I'm the Chair of Activities and Civic Service here for the National Capital Area Council. Thank you for joining us for tonight's program on the Tree Rescuer endeavor ongoing in Northern Virginia at present. This is a really great opportunity for Scouts of all ages to get involved in this fantastic conservation effort. So without any further ado, before I begin, let me remind people in the chat function at the bottom of the Zoom here, there is a chat function there. So if you have questions throughout there, use it as a notepad. The panelists will be able to see the questions as they come in and will endeavor as best they can to answer those questions as the presentation is ongoing, but there will be a question and answer portion there at the end. So please put your questions in as they come up. And with that, Sarah, over to you.
Hi, thank you so much, Patrick, and welcome to the launch of the NCAC Tree Rescuer program. I'm really thrilled to be here today. I'm on the Conservation Committee for NCAC and also the chair of the Outdoor Ethics Committee, and we're really pleased you're all here with us tonight for this launch. So why rescue trees, right? So trees have lots of benefits. I'll list a few here. So we've all heard that trees reduce pollution by removing carbon dioxide from the air and releasing oxygen. And because they provide food and habitat for wildlife, they increase biodiversity. But did you know that trees also help reduce flooding, manage stormwater, and control erosion? On hot summer days, you've probably enjoyed trees for the shade they produce. They also help reduce city temperatures. And the health benefits are many, but include reductions in disease, obesity, and stress. Finally, trees are valuable from an economic perspective. They help lower air conditioning costs, for example, in the summer, and they increase property values. And of course, it's impossible to put a price tag on the enjoyment we all derive from trees, whether due to their leaves, their beautiful flowers, their striking fall colors, or their interesting berries. If that wasn't enough reason to become a tree rescuer, here are some more incentives for U.S. Scouts. So in our outdoor code, it ends by pledging to be conservation minded. One way to be conservation minded is by rescuing trees. In terms of advancement, being a tree rescuer can help Cubs in some of their adventures, and also Scouts complete conservation or service hours. Plus, many merit badges require conservation projects like this one. And also, here are a few awards you can earn either as an individual Scout or as a unit for participating in this Tree Rescuer program. Now we're going to watch a video. Oops.
Everyone loves trees, right? Can you imagine our community without its many species of native trees and the birds and butterflies they support? But wait a minute, what's this? There's something seriously wrong with these trees. Are trees supposed to be fuzzy? They sure aren't supposed to be smothered. Someone needs to tell the owners before their trees are strangled to death and collapse on their houses. Guess what? That someone is us. Most people have no idea that Japanese honeysuckle, Asian wisteria, and oriental bittersweet wrap around trees and strangle them as they grow, or that porcelainberry and kudzu will cut off light and smother them, or that English ivy will weigh them down so they fall over during storms. This is why we've started the Community Tree Rescuers program. It's up to us to let people know so they can take action. So how many trees are we talking about? Well, recently, a volunteer in Tacoma Park, Maryland, counted 5,000 trees at risk from invasive vines in that 2-square-mile town. If Northern Virginia is anything like Tacoma Park, we may have as many as 3 million trees at risk. Pretty crazy, huh? This is how you can help. First, read the instructions and sign up on the Plant Nova Trees website to be a tree rescuer. Take a look at the bottom of that page to educate yourself about these vines. Walking or biking only in safe public areas. Look for trees that have vines growing on them. Try to identify the vines if you can. If you can't, don't worry. It won't always be possible, especially if you are viewing them from a distance. Finally, drop off a brochure with the residents to alert them to the problem. Only stamped mail can go in mailboxes, so you can tape it to the door instead. We don't suggest knocking on doors unless it's someone you know.
You see that tree? That tree? Yeah, that tree. Oh, wow. Just look at all that English ivy on it. We should talk to the homeowner. Oh, yeah, for sure. There she is. Hi, Mrs. Lazar.
How are you?
We're good. Are you aware that one of your trees has an English ivy vine crawling up it?
Oh, that vine that's crawling up the tree? That's English ivy?
Yes. It can smother the tree and cause lots of problems, ultimately killing it.
Really? I don't want that tree to die.
You should remove it at your soonest convenience.
Oh, great. Thank you for letting me know.
You know it's English ivy because it's evergreen and the stem is plain or hairy.
Ah, that's great information. Thank you.
You can get more information in this here pamphlet. Take a gander.
Thank you so much. Really
Our
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Have a nice day.
You too.
It's also important for us to figure out how big this problem is so our community leaders and elected officials can make an overall plan of action. Here's how to help. Keep a tally of how many at-risk trees you find on each property. Let us know which properties you surveyed and what the total number of at-risk trees was. You can draw us a map or just send us a description. Estimate how many acres you surveyed, either by measuring it on the map or by guesstimating. Then submit the data on the reporting form. Have you noticed that these tree-killing vines have something in common? They were all imported from other parts of the world where they left their natural enemies behind. Besides killing trees, why else does this matter? It's because most insects can only eat the plants with which they evolved. If we don't have native plants, we won't have those insects, nor all the critters that eat insects. Birds, dragonflies, lady beetles, frogs, salamanders, and more. The entire ecosystem falls apart, and that, in fact, is what we're seeing. So be sure to choose native plants for your yard, and don't plant the invasive ones. What we don't want anyone to do is cut down native vines, which are meant to grow on native trees. Examples include native grapes, greenbrier, Virginia creeper, trumpet creeper, and even poison ivy. Once they get up high, they flower and produce berries for the birds in the fall and winter. Their leaves feed many species of caterpillars. A very good rule of thumb is to never kill anything if you aren't sure what it is. There are a dozen invasive species that climb up trees and kill them. Here's a quick look at 6 of the most problematic. Don't worry if they all look and sound alike at first. With a little practice, you'll get the hang of it. English ivy is the biggest offender in our residential neighborhoods. Its leaves change shape as the vine grows higher. The older stems are hairy, which is also true of poison ivy. But poison ivy loses its leaves in the fall, and English ivy stays green all year. Another native vine that might fool you in the winter is Virginia creeper. Winter creeper is also evergreen, with hairy older stems, but its leaves are an oval shape with small teeth around the edge. The leaves of porcelainberry may be deeply lobed and easy to recognize, or they may fool you by looking like our native grape leaves. On grapevines, the fruits hang down, unlike porcelainberry, whose colorful berries grow upwards. The bark on grapevines can be peeled in long strips, but not on porcelainberry. The center or pith of slightly older porcelain berry is white, but it's brown on grapevines. Oriental bittersweet has red fruits inside yellow husks. The stems are brown with little bumps on them when they're younger, and white with a diamond shape when older. Chinese and Japanese wisteria are easy to recognize when they're in flower. The seed pods are fuzzy. The leaves are compound, meaning with many leaflets. They can be confused with the native trumpet creeper, but the way you can tell the difference is that the compound leaves of trumpet creeper take off across the stem from each other, whereas wisteria leaves alternate as they go up the stem. Japanese honeysuckle has yellow and white flowers, unlike those of the native coral honeysuckle, which are red. The leaves of younger plants are sometimes lobed. The older stems are light gray and papery looking. It's totally fine if you don't know what kind of vine you're seeing. If it looks as if it is tightly wrapped around a tree or draped all over in a tangle, leave a brochure at the house. The homeowner may know what it looked like at other times of year and can go online to figure out what it is. Thank you for caring for our natural world. It will take a lot of people to spot all the trees at risk in Northern Virginia, so the more you can spread the word and recruit your friends to help, the more trees we can save. Let everyone know that the fate of our local ecosystem is in our hands and that the time to act is now.
Hello. Okay. Thank you for watching the video. That was excellent. I hope everybody was able to see and hear it. Just to go over a few points, we'll just look at the brochure for a second. So here are the 6 vines that we saw: the porcelain berry with the colorful berries, the English ivy, which you saw is sometimes can have a hairy vine, which can be confused with poison ivy. The Asian wisteria, which they pointed out sometimes has purple flowers in the spring. You can see the Oriental bittersweet, and that has oftentimes the red and yellow berries in the fall. The winter creeper, which you see there and has kind of the white veins, and the Japanese honeysuckle. So hopefully everybody was able to catch all of those. And now we're going to give a little quiz. So let's start with the first question. Let's see. So, which vine is this? Everybody please vote. Let's see what our answers are. We have 5 voters. We'll give a few more seconds for people to vote, and then we'll reveal the answer. I'll give you about 5 more seconds. Like people are still, so just quick answer, top of your head, what do you think it is? Okay, I'm going to stop the poll, share the results, and it's English ivy. So one thing you'll note, and as we said, is that sometimes they can have hairy vines like a poison ivy, and the leaves change. Sometimes they look different as they go up. Okay, let's see if I can, whoops, okay. Now we'll go to the next vine. So here's our second. If I can bring this up. So time to vote. Which vine is this? Take a look. Look at the characteristics, particularly in the picture on the right. I'll give a little more time for people to answer. Okay, it looks like we've stopped everybody. A few more people. Last few seconds to vote here. Okay, I'm going to end the poll and share the results. Japanese honeysuckle. Okay, you see on the bottom left, these are the young leaves, so that's pretty distinctive, and the flowers on the right. Of course, they're not visible all year round, so that can be confusing. Okay, the next. Okay, this is poll number 3. Which vine is this? I'll give people a few more seconds to vote. Looks like we have 39 people, so 27, 28 have voted. Okay. Okay, I'm ending the poll, sharing the results. It's winter creeper. Very good, 55%. Okay. Now, the next one. Let's see, number 4 here. I'm gonna launch the poll. Which one is this? The distinctive red and yellow berries will give it away in the certain times of year. Okay. Give you a few more seconds to vote. I'm going to end the poll, share the results. Oriental bittersweet. Okay. And like I said, these are the very distinctive berries that you can see in the fall. Okay. The next one. Let's see. Stop sharing. Whoops. Here we go. Number 5. Launch the poll. Which one is this? Most people will probably remember it by the colorful, particularly the pink, blue, and purple berries. Looks like that was pretty easy for people. I'm going to stop the poll, share the results. Very good. Porcelain berry. Okay. Let's see. Stop. Okay, the next one. I'm going to launch the poll. Which vine is this? A few more seconds here, everybody. Vote. Let's see what. Looks like wisteria is the most popular answer. I'm going to show the results. There we go. Asian wisteria, okay? And in the you can often see in the spring these clumps of purple flowers. Okay. Next one. Let's see, stop sharing. Okay. Which vine is this? See how we're doing on this. Might be a little tricky. Okay, a few more seconds to vote. It looks like a lot of people say English ivy. Okay, I'm going to end the poll, share the results. And actually, this is poison ivy. This was a trick question. This is a native vine, as we mentioned. Please do not cut or kill or remove this. It's actually very, very, very beneficial to wildlife. So again, if there's some sort of confusion about what the vine is, the best thing to do is to take the brochure give it to the homeowner if you know the person, or leave it at their house on the door, for instance, and you know, just let them know that you think that there's some vines that you're not sure about. You might want to look into. Okay, now next question: what do tree rescuers do? Okay, so 2 more questions. What do tree rescuers do? Take a look. Please vote. See what we think. Okay. Looks like we have one answer is far in the lead. I'll give a few more seconds to answer. Okay, I'm going to share the results. And yes, we are going to survey trees. We're going to leave brochures for residents, and we're going to report, but we are not going to remove the vines. We're not going to remove the vines that are growing on trees that are native or invasive, and we're also not going to be using herbicide. Okay, so here is an education campaign. It's to survey and to talk to residents and inform them, and then report it back to the program. Okay, and final question, how do I get started? Let's see. Stop sharing. Final question. How do you get started in this tree rescuer program? What do you do? Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds to answer, and then we'll end the poll. Okay, I'm going to end the poll and share the results. So yes, most of you are correct. You sign up on the website. Okay, and we definitely do not want anyone walking around railroad tracks or along highways. Okay, this is in your neighborhood, staying on the sidewalk, staying in safe places, but you start by going to the website. And so, let's see, I'm going to stop sharing that. I close. So again, you saw this in the video, but what we want you to do is go to the Plant Nova Trees website. You go up here to the Communities tab, and you go down to Tree Rescuers. Scroll down, you will see a sign up here. Okay. This is what it's going to look like on that page. Okay, so you will fill it out, and eventually you'll get in contact with us, and you will get some of these brochures. Okay, this is the brochure you saw, right, in the video. This is the one that you can leave. Sorry, it's blurry, for your neighbors. Okay, and this is the one that also help you remember the vines that we saw today. So hopefully that was all helpful. And now I'm going to introduce 2 of my friends, Heidi and Margaret. They're leading the Tree Rescuer program for Plant Nova natives and Plant Nova trees. And I'm going to pass it over to them to answer your questions and provide more information.
So hi, everybody. Margaret. We've had a few questions that have come up, which some of them have already been answered because they're more personal questions or questions about whether the webinar was going to be recorded and available. The webinar will be recorded, obviously. But there was a question regarding whether there was a way that Maryland or DC residents could participate. Margaret, you want to?
Yeah, sorry, this is just for Northern Virginia. On the other hand, if anyone in DC or Maryland wants to get something like this started in their own neighborhood, we'd be happy to provide you with the documents so that you can create your own brochure that's not Northern Virginia specific, or you can use the Northern Virginia one if you want and just print it yourself. We won't be able to mail it to you, but you can print it off yourself and use it. It's totally fine.
Okay. And so if we have, somebody asked whether they have a doubt about which vine, is there somebody that they can consult with? And just so you know that there is a way that you can contact us if you want to send us a picture of the vine, or we do have some more experienced volunteers that are out there that are available sometimes if we need them to take a look at things. But the easiest way is for you to email us directly, and then we can see how we can help you out. And our emails, if you sign up for the program, then you'll get a reply email, and that'll give you our email address. And it's also, if I'm going to say it right, it's treerescuers@gmail.com.
I just wanted to apologize to everybody. I didn't notice until just now that we have an old PDF up there of the brochure, and where it says Asian wisteria, there's actually a photo of kudzu, which is another horrible vine. But the brochure that we will be mailing you actually has a picture of wisteria in it. The other thing about the question about whether you can go attack the vines yourself, that is not part of our program, but there are many programs out there where people can volunteer. And if you haven't done it already, I urge you to do it. It's really fun and gratifying to do that. But you would be doing it under the auspices, usually of one of the park services, or there's some other organizations that need volunteers for that.
So how far south is Northern Virginia, and do you cover the Fredericksburg area, Margaret?
No, it's Loudoun, Prince William, Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria. Again, feel free to just go ahead and print the brochure yourself and do it yourself. We just won't need a report.
Right. But we're very happy for the concept of invasive plants to be given out to anybody. And this is probably going to be a good way, is getting people to understand the risk to trees.
You guys can be such good ambassadors for this, because people tend to be a little defensive about the plants they have. They don't want to hear that the plants they lovingly planted are invasive. So you can disarm them by being friendly and neighborly and charming.
So we have a question about whether we work with master gardeners. I know that we've had some master gardeners. We've gotten some information out to them. Is that correct, Margaret?
Oh, yes. Master
Yeah.
gardeners are definitely involved in this.
And I know that the Northern Virginia Master Gardeners website has some really good information about some of the invasive ornamental plants.
Yes.
Problems with them.
Master naturalists and master gardeners are all founding members of the Plant Nova Natives, Plant Nova Trees campaign, which is a great big joint effort of about 120 organizations working together.
This is a great question. Somebody asked, could we survey in Northern Virginia, even if we are a Maryland resident? Could we find a Virginia friend, a friend's neighborhood? And yes, if you have a friend that lives in Virginia and you want to support them and go out and do this, that would be wonderful. I think that would be great.
It would be. You can do it. It doesn't have to be a neighborhood. It can be. It just needs to be a public area that's safe.
Yes.
Like a library or a park or somewhere like that. A store.
And somebody said, I'm looking for conservation hours. How could I get them through this? And I don't know the answer to that. Sarah, can you, how do they get the conservation?
So I'd be happy to answer that question. So basically, as most of the hours we do in scouting are kind of, on an honor code, the same thing here, right? So record your hours and then report back how many you've done. It helps if you, can kind of quantify what you've done. For instance, when you submit the hours, I went to this many houses, I served at this many streets, that kind of thing. And I'm happy to sign off on those. If you have somebody who did it with you as an adult scouter, for instance, who participated, I'm sure they would also be happy to sign off on those. So that's how I would do it.
Okay, so chat. No, I thought I was doing chat, but here we go. Yeah, I think that's. Well, somebody asked us to send the brochures. So somebody asked about getting something started in DC. So what I would recommend is that you can actually print out the brochure off of our website. If you take a look at the website, you'll find the brochure there, and you can print that out, and that way you guys can look into getting something like that started in the DC area. And there's lots of other resources that you can look at online.
Yeah, and also the video that we showed, the 8-minute video, is available on the Plant Nova Natives YouTube site.
Okay.
Nathan said, I'm sorry I didn't catch the name of who said they would sign off on the data form.
Sarah?
Are you talking about, right, so are you talking about in the data form when you're submitting it? Or are you talking about kind of signing off on conservation hours? Okay, yeah. I'm happy to do that if that makes it easier for folks. And I can put, so what we can do is we can, let's see, oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, we can add that information when you contact us about it through the Rescue Trees when you sign up. That's another way to do it, and they can just report it back to you. So I'd say either we can do it at the BSA level, or they can, or we can do it through the Plant Nova Trees Rescue Trees program. And that's excellent. So there's the list, the link for the brochures. So in case you want to print them yourself.
Right. If you have other questions that we haven't caught or gotten to, just please let us know. If you just go to plantnovatrees.org and the Tree Rescuers page, you'll find our email address. We're very happy to help. Maybe we missed some on the chat, I'm not sure.
So there was another one, was this initiative started by Scouts, and was it a nonprofit? And that it just so happens that Scouts can join. So this is started by a nonprofit, and we are eager to have Scouts help us out. We're going to need a lot of assistance in getting trees surveyed and areas surveyed. And we know that there are a lot of adults especially are willing to listen to Scouts. And we know that you guys have a good reputation among many of the people in the area. So that's why we're reaching out to you.
We have about 130 volunteers signed up so far who are not Scouts.
Right.
I hope we'll have at least that many Scouts.
We hope.
Well, it looks like we're all through the questions. Sarah, if there's anything else we need to go over, or are we ready to wrap?
I think that's all. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in this launch event tonight. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to hearing from you when you register to be tree rescuers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks all. And thank you, Sarah, Margaret, and Heidi for joining and for leading this conversation. It was fantastic. Thank you all so much.